Yo, what's up YouTube? Today I'm going to be going over the main skills that you need in order to scale any info product past roughly around 10k a month. Want to see way higher, right? This is just based on my knowledge, but with the skills in this video, you're probably going to be able to scale any info product even beyond 100k a month, right? It's really not that hard. So I'm going to break it down. I've broken it down into lead gen, sales process, creating your offer, and just the standard operation slash procedures, right? So let me just get straight into this. So the first pillar, and as you guys see, just a bunch of value. So the first one is creating your offer, right? So you need to basically know exactly how to market your offer, right? And you need to do market research on what to actually do this. So you need to be able to basically find the pain points, the wants and the needs. And you find the pain points of your audience, right? So like, what are the struggles that they may face? What do they actually want out of the creator? What are their needs? So for example, if they want help with a certain thing, when maybe they struggle with one thing more compared to something else. And you also want to figure out if you want to do a mid-ticket offer, a low-ticket offer, or a high-ticket offer, right? This is very, very important because a lot of the time, for example, in the reselling niche, people can't really afford high-ticket, right? So you have to stick with low-ticket or mid-ticket. So this is very, very important to do. And obviously, you need to know how to do market research in order to actually put together a good offer that people actually want to buy. And by offer, I don't just mean like your text offer, so like I help you hit 10k a month within 30 days, or I refund you or something like that. I mean like everything that you offer in your info product, right? So like all the deliverables and whatnot. So next is offer creation. So obviously, your USP, your unique selling point, your guarantee on your offer, the result that you help your clients guarantee through your offer, and obviously fulfillment, right? So what exactly is the buyer getting? Okay, you need to have clarity on this. And you need to know exactly what is actually inside of your info product. So for example, if you're selling a low ticket school community, there's probably going to be a bunch of things, right? However, if you're selling a high ticket one-to-one mentorship, it's probably just going to be like access to the creator, right? It's that simple. So just find out, okay, what is the offer actually going to entail? So that's basically for offer creation, but it's a very, very important pillar, and it's basically like the main structure, right? Like you need to have a good offer, and your whole business is going to be centered around your offer and the product that you actually sell. So next thing is the sales process. So obviously, you need to know how to basically sell. This could be you, obviously, if you're hopping on sales calls and whatnot, but you need to have a good knowledge of sales. Obviously, training. You have to train sales reps and actually provide them with high quality training, because finding a good sales rep is pretty hard. Obviously scripts as well. Let's say on sales calls for like your closers, you don't really need to have like scripts for that. But if you're hiring setters, you probably will need like a standard operating procedure, right? It's like a script that they can follow, just to like it's just clear for them. And your operations, so your pre-call flows, you need to basically know how to automate, pre-call flows. So like basically just like a follow-up sequence before the call to make sure that they actually show up. And obviously CRM management and actually tracking all your metrics, and you know how to do that. By the way, guys, like these are basically umbrella terms. Like obviously I'm breaking down everything. So like obviously these are very, very like micro skills, right? These are basically just like the main things that you actually need. Next is basically putting together a team. So this could be done by either you or a sales manager. And obviously when you're actually putting together a team, you need to be able to find high quality sales reps, and also you need to basically have a good hiring process. When you're as an operator, right, obviously you need to be able to find very, very high quality sales reps. That's like one of your roles. And so many people overlook this, right? Like so many people, they just rush finding a sales rep because there's so many out there, right? They're not really that hard to find. But do not do this, okay? You need to make sure that the sales rep's actually gonna be good, and they're actually someone who really sort of resonates with the offer, right? Like really just like understands the offer and whatnot, and it's really someone that's just locked in. All right, that is going to be 100 times better than just finding a bunch of sales reps that are just kind of mid. So that's basically the whole sales process side of things. So next is obviously lead gen, right? So obviously actually generating leads for the coaching business. So obviously you have community building, putting together a community for all of your leads. You have just basic marketing, so this could be paid ads. Now, paid ads for info is definitely really, really good right now. You see people putting crazy results with them. However, all of your ads should be either follower ads. So what these are basically ads to your followers on whatever social media. So usually just Instagram. So only your followers see it, because what this is sort of like an extra push for that viewer to buy into whatever it's you're selling, right? Or you can do ads to your organic content, right? So this is just ads that are targeted towards your ICP. basically pushing them towards your organic content, so nothing like a sales call or anything like that. Don't do it straight to your funnels. Don't do it straight to your landing page or to a type form or anything like that, because it doesn't really make sense for people to buy info product from something they do not know at all. Okay, it doesn't, like, you can't really do that. Obviously, for other business models like other business models, you may be able to do that, but not really for an info product, right? People buy info products from people that they know that I can trust, especially if you want to charge high prices, which is going to be most of you guys. Obviously, doing high ticket, so don't do it straight to your funnel. Okay, focus on one of these two if you actually decide to delve into paid ads. Again, I'm not too knowledgeable on paid ads. I haven't really run any info offers myself, but that's just like based off my knowledge as of right now. So obviously organic, I'm not going to go into organic content too much because it shouldn't really be a skill that you need to have. Obviously, you need to have a basic understanding of the know, like, trust formula, and basically how to actually create content that gets people to know you, like you, and trust you, and actually, you know, put that onto your creator. But they should really be their job, right? Like, they should know exactly how to actually get eyeballs, how to actually attract the correct eyeballs and the correct people to, you know, your content. And that's just entirely their job, right? So just have a basic understanding of it, but you don't really have to think about this too much, because as the growth operator, you handle all the back end, whilst the creator just posts content and actually fulfills people. That's literally it. So another form of lead gen could be a lead mag. So a lead magnet is something that you give to your audience for free in exchange for their details, so usually their email address, maybe their phone number or whatever. Through this, you can then start an email marketing sequence. So that's definitely just a good way to, you know, nurture your audience and whatnot. And you can also do some appointment setting. This is primarily done through SMS, basically just hitting the people who opt into your lead magnet up and getting them to, you know, hopefully book a call with the creator. Now, when it comes to SMS in a lead magnet, I'd personally advise against it. Sorry guys, I'd personally advise against it because that obviously just creates excess friction, right? You want to get as many people into the email list as possible. Maybe if you're doing a very, very exclusive offer, or like something that's like very, very high ticket, so something that just has a massive ROI, it'd usually be something a bit of niche, then you could get their number. Like, I've definitely seen people do that. But if it's something basic, like, for example, just like, I don't know, like a copywriting mentorship or a dropshipping mentorship, just get their name in the email, because you don't want to have excess friction right there. So also for lead gen, you can even do IRL events, right? So I see this a lot, especially in my niche. I'm not going to really leak my niche, but a lot of people do like retreats, and they seem to be extremely popular because I literally see it in so many creators, right? So it's basically just like a trip with a creator to like a certain country. Also, you can do like there's so many different events you can do. Like, a great example is, if you guys don't know who Pierre is, he's just a growth operator. He was growth operating for a guy called Caprice, and they did like a whole like pop up. I think it was in like Las Vegas or something, and he literally charged like 5K per person. So that was like, he definitely printed a bunch of that, and overall just a great event to basically just build up everything, build up the info business in general, right? So you can definitely do IRL events as well. So that's basically it for this side of things. It's nothing too crazy. And then for the standard operations, right, so just really managing the info product, making sure that everything's running smoothly. Obviously, sales management. So you can hire a sales manager. It honestly depends on like how much you scale your business, like literally. But it's definitely going to be necessary, especially if you're, you know, scaling multiple offers. Like, you don't want to have to be like watching over every single sales rep, because they're going to have a lot eventually. So obviously, you need to be making very, very good hires, like I said earlier. Yeah, basically what I said is just outsourcing a sales manager just to make sure that everything's running smoothly on the sales side of things, because that's obviously very, very important. And frequent checkups. Obviously, a lot of people do like even daily calls with their sales team. Again, this is something that's definitely going to be very, very well delegated to a sales manager, because you don't really want to be on daily calls. It's sort of up to you. It really just depends on the scale of your business, right? Like, obviously, you have to check up with your sales reps, and then obviously KPI tracking. Track literally everything, right? Like, when it comes to your outreach, track that. Track like the whole funnel, so like where people are going, where people are clicking off, and then make changes based off that. You can even like study psychology for this one, right? I've literally seen people do that. Whereas like even changing a color on your landing page, or changing the way a text is like formed, like every single micro thing. It may sound crazy, but at the end of the day, business is just psychology, right? Business is just convincing people of something. So at the end of the day, you have to break it down very, very specifically. Obviously, if you're a beginner operator trying to, like, I don't know, hit 10K, well, you don't really have to think about that, right? But if you're really scaling hard, really working with a massive creator, just obviously think about that, but just track every single KPI and adjust based on that, because that's really how you systemize everything. A dashboard as well. For your client, obviously, you want to have a dashboard just to make sure that everything is clear and give them clarity. Especially the more hires you make, you want to have a dashboard, just because it's also a great place to have everything in one place. For this, you can use Notion. Like, yeah, I mean, creating a whole dashboard on Notion is kind of long. But if you're in, like, if you bought any type of info, or if you're in any type of like info product community, a lot of the times they have free client dashboards. So that's one I use. Like, I have like a full Notion one that I've made. I might drop one in my Discord, so like join that down below. It's gonna be a ton of resources in there. But yeah, you can have a Notion client dashboard. That's just great. Like, Notion is really good. You can also use Close. Me personally, I haven't used it, but I know like a lot of operators use it, and it's really, really clean. It's got a great just like, I don't know what it's called. I think it's like UI or something, right? But I've seen it. I've seen what it looks like, and overall, which looks really good. It's pretty well used for my future clients. You also can use Go High Level. Me personally, I don't really want to use Go High Level, but a lot of creators do use Go High Level. But I mean, it doesn't really look too good. It's just kind of old fashioned, and like, you might as well either use Close, which probably looks the best, or Notion, like one of the two. Try to avoid Go High Level, but I mean, it's up to you. But like, it just looks kind of shit. But you'll find that a lot of the times your creators already using it, so it might be the easiest. So obviously automation as well. So obviously SMS automation. So like I said earlier, you know, pre-call flows, all of that stuff. And then email sequences as well. You can set these up through ConvertKit, Zapier, and also you can use Go High Level for both of these right here. There's a bunch of other email marketing software that you can automate emails through. You have like, I think Beehive, MailChimp, like there's a bunch, but ConvertKit is probably the most popular. That's basically it. Like, it's honestly that simple. But hold on, let me just double check. Yeah, these are pretty much the main skills that you need to like clear 10K a month as a growth operator, and scale any info product, like rerun it up. Obviously, there may be things I'm missing. I'm not like all knowing when it comes to growth operating. These are just the main ones I could think of as I was making this video, right? So yeah, I really hope this video was helpful, just to give you guys some clarity on what you really need. Like I said earlier on in this video, I've really broken down these skills, so it's quite literally just like, you can sort of just look at this yourself and just find out, okay, what do I actually need to learn in order to actually be someone who can make money with growth operating and actually scale info products. But definitely go ahead and learn these. Sorry guys, I have to keep my voice low. But definitely go ahead and learn these skills, because going into growth operating without knowing how to do anything, like literally just outreaching straight away, you'll have like no conviction, right? And you won't really be someone who's that authoritative. Like, you need to at least know, like, for example, copywriting or sales, or like just really be good at one thing before you like expand into everything else. Obviously, you're not going to run up your own info product, right? You probably don't have an audience, so you have to go ahead and just work with somebody. You have to go ahead and get some reps in, find out what works and what doesn't, what you're good at, what you're bad at, and then go from there and get confidence from there. Because obviously, you know, confidence comes from like competence. I think that's the saying. Confidence comes from doing things a lot of the time, right? That's the shit. If you do something a lot, you're gonna get more confident, right? So build up the skills, get the reps in, but just get good at one thing. Like, get good at something. Understand like marketing, for example. Like, it's not really that deep, right? But just learn one. That is it for this video, though, guys. If you're a growth operator looking to just make more money, join a community of straight up killer growth operators, join my Discord server down below. It's gonna be so much value in there. I'm really just building like a cool community in there right now. So yeah, go ahead and join that if you're a growth operator. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.